Yo, what's up, folks? Terrell and Najee here to review episode 21 of Young Justice Odyssey of Death is today's episode title. This episode was so good. So many things to talk about. But we're going to get through it. So let's just talk about the beginning and the end of the episode really quick, because that's kind of where we see the next little arc going to be. And that's finally Zatanna making an appearance in this part of the season, in this new gods era or saga of the season. And we see her with her father. She get Dr. Fate, and we know that she's trying to locate a spirit. My assumption at the point was that everyone's looking for Connor, but I didn't think about it in the fashion. I'm glad they explained it, because for me it's always the whole idea of like, how come everybody isn't just communicating, understanding where everybody's at in the developments of everything that's kind of going on and whatnot.
Right.
Nonetheless, her being in her regards to magic, that's where her approach is going to be. So she decides to bring together some of the best, and should we say all of the mystics to come together to try to locate Connor. And then Dr. Fate was like, "What? That failed." She's like, "That makes no sense. Makes no sense. All of this power here, we couldn't find it unless he's not dead." And then on the other end is like, well, maybe he's at peace. No, he's not at peace. He's just not dead. So she doesn't need magic to locate him. She needs a detective. So that's the beginning part of that was Zatanna. Anything you want to add on that before we get to the real meaty stuff of this episode?
God damn it! If I haven't said it once, I say it again. The best goddamn cartoon show on streaming service right now. Period, man. This. Oh my goodness! This, like you said, this was a great freaking episode, man. Just the payoff for all four of these episodes, all in one thing. It was incredible, man. If I can't. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Well, Lord Zod, I mean, it's a cat and mouse game right now. He's finally waking up now, and the time spear is broken. Mantis done proved his keep. He said, I didn't think you could do it, so my apologies, but he got it done. He got them. Not only was he able to get the device, but he got them to safety, and now they been jumping ahead to avoid all of the new gods and everybody in pursuit of them. But now they're on New Genesis, and now it's time to get to work, because they had to get to New Genesis because they had to get a power source in order to recharge it. And Lord Zod is super militant. I mean, like,
focused.
Yes. To be honest, like, you rarely see characters that say, I got a job to do, no fluff, let's get it done. And he was all about getting it done. He needs to free his parents from out of the Phantom Zone where they've been held prison, but they got to recharge it and whatnot. But they're very much aware that they're stuck in the present time and folks are after them. So with that being said, on the other end, Metron, who we know has been jumping around trying to alert new gods and the whole treaty crew, that's what we call them, the Justice League and the Green Lanterns and the new guys said, listen, we got a huge problem here. And like, I gotta say, Metron has always been very annoying to me, but now he's super annoying because he reminds me of the folks that like, bro, why didn't you just tell us? Like,
like I did tell you.
Like, we don't got time for explanations and whatnot. But like, oh, by the way, there's like a potential breach of Kryptonians, like a lot of them that's still alive, in prison, that's eventually going to be released. So, Superman and all, like, yeah, it's like 1,000 of them getting ready to come in and wreck shop. And like, at this point now, I'm kind of jumping just a little bit, but like, this is where they say, well, New Genesis, everybody prepare for battle. Like, shit is about to get popping and whatnot. But they're playing cat and mouse because they're trying to eventually catch up to them, to Lord Zod and them, to try to prevent these things from either happening. But they're late to the gun, and once they all get to the present time, is where they said, we got to set up a plan, alert everybody, let them know what the imminent threat is, what's happening. And also, he's very much aware of how this must work. And that's the thing about him. Like, he knows everything. He knows who the threat is. He knows what the threat's trying to do. He knows that they need the power source. He explained how he got into possession of the Phantom Projector. Like, he knows all these things, and everybody else is kind of like, bro, what?
Could have told us this yesterday.
So and then like the fact that like there's like surviving Kryptonians, then they bring up Lord Zod, and then that's when the around the room there's like, oh yeah, that's the worst of them all. So yikes. So get ready for battle, prepare for war. But they got to get to the boiling lake in order to recharge it. Now, again, I'm kind of setting the table here because big things are getting to popping. Before all the action and stuff go down, they're in the Phantom Zone, and we're still trying to understand where Drew Zod's purpose with Connor is. And to me, it's all intelligence. They want to know what he knows so that I guess when they reassert themselves back into the world, they're able to kind of go forward with it. And that's always kind of been the thing with Kryptonians, whatever house it may be. Everyone's pretty much is driven, and plus he's a general, so of course he's thinking militant, if anything, you know what I mean? So he's trying to get as much intel as he can so that he's fully aware of what he's going into. To his surprise, he learned out a little bit more, but we'll talk about that in a second. But before we get into like the juice of everything, what was kind of your thoughts about everything as they develop at this point now, as the war is starting to get set?
Right. I mean, we come back from the previous, like you said, after the bug, they pretty much got, on their Tom heist to get the Phantom Zone projected. They succeeded. So like my fear from last episode was coming true. Like, man, like Zod's getting out. You know what I mean? Like, and he's bringing everybody with him. What I didn't know was that the Phantom Zone projector can specifically pull out one person, which makes sense. I thought everybody was getting out, which I'm like, okay, now they gonna do now. But I didn't know this particular Phantom Zone projector could specifically target one person, and it blocks out everybody else, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's smart. You know what I mean? Just but this time, like you said, we're gearing up for war. Everybody's on deck. To stop whatever weight may be. And didn't really know what roles Zatanna was going to play early on because they bring her in. We haven't seen her since like the first 4 episodes. And of course, everybody's still on the soul hunt for Superboy. And then, like you said, confirming that he is indeed not dead. But like I said, man, this definitely, man, like I said, exceeded my expectations for the payoff, because like I said, this is like the 4th episode is always like the climax of this whole thing. Like I said, it more than exceeded what I expected from the seeing Green Lanterns come together, seeing my man Orion come in the scene and throw hands. So it was more than what I expected. I'm still trying to process. I literally had tears coming down my face of how good the episode was, and just how everything was coming about, man. Like I said, it's just it's so good.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I mean, like I some shows you feared that they're gonna actually tie a knot to certain parts of things being built, and this episode right here literally made sure that every bit of stakes and every bit of mystery or whatever made developments were all solved in this episode. We gotta talk about my man Tamare, because first of all, Lord Zod again wasted no time in saying, y'all know what y'all marching orders is. I'm getting pops out, and Phantom Projector, do what you got to do. Search for his DNA. They're searching for it, and he's standing next to it like, all right, I'm here making sure this goes down. I mean, I appreciate that, because I think if that's what his whole mission is, a priority, then he should be by it. But like you said, a man that gets it done. He ain't out there, BSing around. He's like, listen, I'm getting pops out, and he wasted no time in doing that. But
no monologuing.
Not at all. No whole like I got to do this, to do that. Now he's like, nah, Drew Zod DNA, get him out of here. Like we gotta go. But while that's happening tomorrow, we see the showdown coming down. First of all, I'm a huge fan. One of my favorite Green Lanterns. So this episode truly hurt. And it was interesting to see how they held up against how he held up against a Kryptonian, which you have to think like he's having an abundance of an emotion here based on where he went from before, and basically saying that was his fault that Krypton died and he wasn't able to do anything.
Right. With
the Phantom Projector being used, using absorbing the energy from the boiling lake and using it, this awoken a Promethean, a planet killer. And so this man, Tamare, is literally having the worst 5 minutes of his life, because he's just like, like, what's to do? And like, he kind of losing the fight, but it's still moving around. But he is able to develop the Cascade Tunnel in order to save this planet. He said, "This, I'm not going to let it happen again." And they get some action in. I mean, the action between Lord Zod and Tamare was on point. But he had to make a choice, and I think it's to be determined. Like, could he have held his own if he didn't have to have this major rescue on the side? I don't think. I mean, yeah, I get it. And enraged Kryptonian is definitely not the one you want to mess with.
They have made Kryptonian so OP in every form of content. Like, and this is the youthful, pissed off Kryptonian. You know what I mean? So he was, those shields was barely holding heat vision. You know what I mean? So no.
Yeah,
he would have held off maybe, but he wouldn't have won.
I will say that, like, the amount of energy he was sustaining in the ring was something to take note. I mean, it was literally, he couldn't sustain two objects at the same time, but
that's a big flaw in that ring. Like, you can't, like, I can't shield myself and protect the planet.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
Yeah, but
I really appreciate just the mindset of Zod here. Just not the villain mindset, but like, yo, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this at the same time. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna take this dude out and cause a distraction so I can get everybody out. I don't think I've seen that in a while where a villain was just like, yo, I'm just going for the kill, and he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was just amazing. Like, and the way they did it was graphic too. I was like, oh, we just going to do the intense heat vision. Okay,
yeah,
he's done. So
yeah.
I definitely like you said, I definitely felt something for that, man. Like, and he had his hero moment. He was able to protect everybody on the planet. He put himself above, whatever, because he probably could have stopped him, or at least distracted him enough. But dang, that was tough.
Yeah. On the other end of the battle, you have Mahala Fakar, who is doing. I mean,
he trash.
Martians are so deadly, though. That what, telekinesis or just a brainwash or whatever it may be.
Right.
Being able to possess somebody like Orion, and then having Orion and Rocket sort of in this time loop or whatever, this trance together, just whatever you want to call it, was important because, like, we understood that Rocket was actually mentally dealing with a lot as like a human throughout this arc, but Orion was also having a lot of like self-discovery himself, which was kind of weird that I didn't see it happening that way. But that's what this little thing did, is we're like, as he said, she awoke in him, and they were able to break out of this hell by actually, kind of taking a look into themselves. You know what I mean? And she kind of came through clutch and helping him break out of that. And beyond them saving themselves from this moment, it actually helped them beyond this in terms of being better people or guys where they want to be. So not like a big thing, because Rocket does go back home and she's ready to be a mom, and she's like, Amistad, I see you and whatnot. But like, I get it. It was important that you wrap that up, because like, if we did not understand, like, should we say, the revelations of her mental and his mental, then we're like, all that build for what? You know what I mean?
Right. And they were trying to pretty much say, like, seeing in her son the things that he mentally has to overcome to pretty much maintain normalcy. You know what I mean? Like, and now she sees it. You know what I mean? Like, because she finally got out of her own head for a minute, and in this job that she has to do as a hero that she was putting above her son, which, I'm not gonna put that against her, but like, she gets it. You know what I mean? I guess. So I guess she gonna bring on break for a while.
Yeah, that I agree. I agree. And like, because everything about this mission was about the treaty, but yet she learned so much about herself, and I thought that was important. Is like, we understand that, like, why she seemed to be kind of like off to the side doing whatever. I mean, Jay Garrett is literally like the just kind of off to the side person, because he really didn't get much. I think we're going to get more about that in a little bit, but as of right now, it's just kind of like, what was she kind of here for? But like, all right, I get it now. She was
we do see Bart like on the treadmill on the ship too. I guess that's how they're able to travel through like whatever they were going through. So whatever they're trying to find. So, so hopefully, they finally were able to get back to where they were.
Yeah. Oh man, Motherbots trying to take out the Foragers, and all they want to do is be in love. They just don't know where they want to live at. They either want to live in California, or they want to live on the East Coast, somewhere in DC or something like that. But they try to make plans like, we're gonna be here, we're gonna be there, whatnot.
Yeah, that trope.
But what an incredible moment here. I mean, first of all, after losing Tamare, I was hurt. And I hate it, but that's kind of the life of the Lanterns, because you start to think who's next, and I did not think it was going to happen this quick. Do you know where I thought it was going to go?
Who?
Take a guess. Take a guess. You brought it up before.
Like that somebody that was already there.
Not here in this episode, but was already here before. And you said I want him to have all the rings.
Oh, can't think of his name. Yeah, the blue lantern, red lantern. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. I think he already OP as it is. Yeah.
Hey yo, could you imagine
Razor.
though?
Yeah,
Razor. Could you imagine? But
no,
female
he
Forge
barely handled it too.
But that would have been crazy. This would have been the craziest thing. But
I found it funny. She was like, oh, now I'm a probationary member of the member of the corps. Like, oh, you're like, I'm an officer now. Like, I can't so. Like, oh man, that sucks too, man. Because like, I'm like, can you get the ring back?
Not really though. But before that, I mean, like the ring picking female Forager was dope. Having her say the creed right there on site. That transition was hella dope in order to save the two of them out of Motherbots' little rap or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then turned the fuck up. I mean, like that, it was dope seeing the transformation, and like I had the chills. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, I'm not saying it was ever in my top 100 pick, but like here we go, and I'm digging it. It's the choice I didn't know I wanted, but here we are. And
yeah, we don't get a lot of Green Lantern moments, and I'm glad we definitely were able to, like I said, recite the oath and make it a big moment here.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. I definitely didn't expect her to get a ring at all.
Not at all. But listen, like she's under the tutelage of Kilowog, and Kilowog has already said like the hunt is on. The full the Green Lanterns. Listen, it's a wrap. We're looking for that dude.
And speaking like a cop too, right? They we stick together. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna hunt him down. Like it's kind of
But doesn't he patrol Earth still?
That's not his sector.
It was
it? Hal is still a character in this universe, right? Like,
right, but I thought they still. I thought it was like a couple of them that protected that sector. I thought Kilowog was still in the Earth area. Because even Mel Forager said like you'll be with him and with the ring and all that, so it still seems possible. So like I'm thinking like, well, maybe they still do got a chance to kind of interact because they'll still kind of be in that sector or whatever. So
Guy Gardner is also in that sector too. So
you know what? It all depends on what time. Like right now it wouldn't be because there is definitely more there. Yeah, okay, well, and then female, yeah. I guess different times,
man.
Right? But at the point he did protect that sector. I mean that's
right.
How he obviously got to meet Hal and all the other folks. So there's that. Last I guess little thing is with the Phantom projector opening up and everybody being very much aware of the threat. Jay doing his tornado to prevent it from happening. And who shot the laser beams? I forgot.
That was this bioship.
Oh yes, right. The bioship came through. But what's her name? Can't think of her name. Tanner girl, thank you. Had a connection, was able to see Drew, was able to see Connor, and said, Phantom Girl, wake up, and completely woke her up, who's been in some type of a purgatory area for all this time, which changes everything inside the Phantom Zone now.
Right, because now we know she has the ability to get out of the zone.
Yes, and that she's alive, and that Connor's alive, and that Connor isn't either one of them are imprisoned there. So therefore they can get out, DNA signature or not. Now the question is, do they use that? Does the remaining Kryptonians try to use that against them? Where do they try to leverage this with Phantom Girl? And Lord Zod is like, listen, I'm snapping her neck if y'all don't take us with us. We got things to do. He is pissed. Yeah, like he was that close to his pops. By the way, the fact that his pops was just like, oh, my wife, is like the Phantom Projector was like, nah, not you, Slim. It was like, we're going to just keep going. So there's that. So it's a crazy episode.
Man, shout out to the voice actor that does Zod, man. Like, oh my goodness, you could hear that in his voice. Like, he was serious. I was like, oh, he really gonna stab this girl's neck. Like, so but it's crazy too, because like they now have the knowledge that Superboy is still alive, and Phantom Girl, But of course, we got to go through the long way of finding out now. But whatever that means, Zatanna is going to go about. She's trying to bring in a detective. I think they're going to bring in the Question.
Ooh.
I think they're going to bring him in.
Ooh. Okay. Anyway, I don't have any predictions for this. I'm living in the moment with this episode. This episode was fantastic. So, folks, we're gonna leave it to you all to jump in the comments. Let us know your thoughts about this intense, crazy episode. We got a new Green Lantern. We also lost one of the most popular ones in Tomorrow. Lord Zod is unhinged, and more people than none know that Connor is alive, where he's at, and possibly ways to retrieve him. And the treaty has been signed. The Justice League, the Lantern Corps, the New Gods, it's all done. Everything that they work towards has been done. We'll see what implications that has going forward. And at this point now, I hope Metron starts to just open up his mouth about more information he got. I mean, he took the Time Spear and he says he can figure out some things with that, but hopefully he shares the information, because my man is so mysterious and so mischievous that I feel like he's doing more bad than good, because he's not opening his mouth, but he still has to be questioning. Let's see if they actually go back down that road of the New Gods and Mantis also as well. So there may be still a little bit more business to be handled there. So, but yeah, let us know your thoughts and comments and everything below. And we're back, more Young Justice next week.
Cannot wait.
See ya.